started from the bottom. Now the whole team fucking here.
That's it, dude. That's it.
Except we didn't start from the bottom.
We didn't start from the bottom at all.
No.
At all.
Yeah.
But like, I think like something that's so interesting to me is the idea that, you know, it's not a win if you're the only one winning.
Of course.
It's not a win until the team wins. Until the whole family is winning. Because,
Right.
like, you can generate wealth for yourself or generate prosperity for yourself.
Of course, man.
But if the people you came up with or the people you grew up with
Right.
aren't there with you or aren't also benefiting from that, like, you failed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, because what's the substance of, you know, like, making it, whatever that means to anybody, like, doing it all for yourself, and if there's nobody there, you know, to be there with you, and
100%, man.
right, like, I feel like, in a way, we owe it to our parents, and obviously they won't say that, and, like, nobody will ever say that except yourself, but, like, at least for me personally, I feel like, in a way, like, I owe it to them, to, like, for, you know, making the sacrifices that they did.
100%.
To, you know, trying my best, to, you know.
And the thing is, I met people who don't feel like that, or people who not that they didn't feel like that, they didn't understand that, right? And it was, to me, again, I'm not in any way saying like, oh, I can't believe they didn't, like, that's not their life experience, and I respect it. That's totally cool.
Of course.
Just for me, like, them not understanding that was such a difficult thing for me to comprehend, like, that they didn't get that.
Because it seems so, for us, because we've grown up in that environment, it's just like, it's intuitive. Like, how can you not think like that?
Exactly, right? It's confirmation bias, right? And
that's true.
it's one of those confirmation biases, though, that I'm super thankful for.
Of course.
Like, look, what I've learned is, if you want to be a killer, you gotta hang around killers. You know what I'm saying?
You say the word killer like we're killers, buddy. Like,
no, but I mean, like, if you want to be the best, you gotta hang around the best. And the thing is, like,
I know what you mean.
And you know, that's something you consciously do. You want to try and hang around the best, and you know, that's why you want to put yourself in the best places you can go. You want to put yourself around the best company. But what that also means is, like, I'm just so thankful that we grew up in an environment where that's, like, we hung around killers in the sense of, like, people who cared about their families and who believed in these values and who didn't just say the shit, they lived it.
Yep.
Like, the only reason we know any of this is because we saw it, right? I saw how my parents take care of my grandmother, and so, like, now when your grandmother or something comes over, I'm like, yeah, of course, like, how else would we treat
that's
them?
our grandmother.
Yeah, like, there's no difference. Like,
Yeah.
that's so cool to me.
No difference.
Like, that tribal mentality is like, it's serious. Like,
Right.
I very much see these are my people. And it's not like me versus you then. You're either part of my crew or you're not. But in a way, it also kind of is. It's not like I'm saying, oh, because you're not part of my crew, I exclude you. But I also realize my loyalties and, like, the things that drive me.
Yeah.
And that's just, I'm so... That wedding, dude, honestly. Chandanbhai's wedding
Yo, man, dude.
made me realize, like, not being here made me realize that nothing is as important to me as this family. Like, actually, straight up. And I've said this 100 times off camera, so it's not like I'm saying this for the camera.
Yeah, of course.
Right? But it's like this time when I saw you guys, the first time I saw you guys, the first time I saw Nandanbhai, like, dude, I was just, the love in my heart was so different than anything I've ever felt before, because it was this final conscious realization that there's just nothing that's more important.
Yep.
And it's cool because then it motivates you to work so much harder. Like, this is my 2 weeks off. This is when I should be resting. But now, because I'm here and I feel this, when I'm not with you guys, I'm like, all right, what can I keep working on? You know? And that's, like, these videos and stuff. It's just so cool. It's so cool.
It's crazy. I mean, it also comes back to, I think, so you talked about, you know, hanging around killers, hanging around the best of the best. And I think it comes back to everybody needs to be on the same wavelength is kind of how I like to think about it. You know, like, if you're hanging around people... Like, and what I mean by, like, wavelength is basically, you know, people with similar values to you, similar motivations and stuff. And it's not just about being around the best of the best as much as it is around being around people who, you know, make you better, you know, right?
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
And when I'm saying wavelength, what that basically means is that the value portion, you know, like, you kind of, like, you see the same picture. Because if you're not aligned, man, it's like... you'll end up wasting your time with a lot of people in this world. And I think you've said this before too, right? Like, there's so many I don't know, the waste mans. That's kind of how you say it, man.
Yeah,
Don't waste no time with no waste man.
Don't
man.
waste no time with no
Don't
waste
waste
man,
no-
brother.
Yeah.
You know, and that sounds kind of.
It's not to sound pretentious, you know. And it comes across like that very easily, you know. Like we're saying, like we're on some sort of wavelength that like nobody else is on. No, that's not the point. What the point is that it's you just want to be around people that you know have similar values to you because that's how you find happiness. I'm not saying if I'm not on the same wavelength or whatever
That you're
that
wrong.
you're
right?
wrong. There is no right or wrong to this. But this is how I was raised, you know. I'm around my people, you know, my people. The reason they're my people is because we were raised in a similar way, raised in a similar environment, and now we're on that same wavelength.
And it's so interesting. So like Zane, right? Like someone like Zane, like you introduced me to Zane. It's so
Right.
cool because we weren't raised in the same environment,
Right.
but we're on a similar wavelength still.
And so you just connect.
And we just like click
Right.
like that. And
Yeah.
Zane's one of those people I look at every time now, and I'm just like, damn, like that guy's a killer.
Yeah.
So when I use the word killer, I don't always mean like, oh, these guys are forging their way in their career, but I mean killers in the sense like just solid people, like nice, kind, like right from the heart people.
Right.
And you said it really well. Like saying same wavelength for killers doesn't mean that like, you know, there's better or worse,
Yeah.
right? Like if your value system is totally different from ours, but you have people in your life who share that and you are very happy with that, that's awesome. Like that's it. That's what you want, right?
Yep.
It's not what the values are so long as it's so much as it's like having similar values. And it doesn't even mean having the same perspective on everything, right? I disagree, like me and Eddie disagree on me and Davik disagree on a whole bunch of stuff. But that's also so important.
Yeah.
Because
We learn from each other.
it
man.
forces you to level up. It forces you to get better,
Yeah.
right? Like my boys in Waterloo, I love those guys so much because I learned something from each one of them that I take. And I can point to specific parts of my personality that come from those guys, and I take that and I try and better my own character through the disagreements, right? Because they'll say something, I'll be like, screw you. I'll go back to my room. I'm like, actually, that was kind of clever. Like that was cool. Like that was true. Like I never thought of it like that. And I'll never admit it to them because, they just make you better. So it's not about agreement or disagreement. It's about the underlying values. Like for us, family, dude. Like there's just nothing.
That's like the foundation.
That's
right?
that's like
That's what everything's built on.
that's it. There's literally I can't think of anything more important to me than family. When I say there's nothing that makes me feel better, I mean like not working out, not dating girls, not even getting awards, not even, getting the Apple job.
Dude, when we are all on like the dance floor at like a wedding, like you cannot like
It's over,
you
dog.
cannot-
It's over.
Like we are all like in a state of like such pure bliss, and it
Yeah.
sounds like it's not to sound like weird or like, but we're just like not thinking about
it's
anything.
dude, it's not in the dance floor. It's like
when we're together.
when you're in Nummy Auntie's house, right?
Yeah.
And everyone's just sitting around together, and you look around, like it's like my heart's just like, it's like,
It's like, man, it's just the most comforting feeling too, right?
yeah.
And you know what? And what sucks and why this is like an emotional time is like the realization that there's gonna be, a little bit less of those
Yeah.
times. Because us growing up, every fucking weekend, it was that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like whose house we going? Like I would ask my mom on like a Thursday, I come home from school, whose house we going to this weekend? Like and like she's like, yo, so Friday this day,
Yeah.
Saturday we're going here, Sunday we're going here.
And if there wasn't someone's house we were going to
That's
that weekend,
what
we just pop up. We just show up. Like,
Literally.
what's up?
Yeah, literally.
And I'm just like, and I'm so thankful that we have that here.
Right.
And I'm so thankful that somehow, through a million reasons it shouldn't have happened, I was fortunate to have that when I went to Waterloo with my boys in Waterloo, right?
Wow. Yeah.
And like you're friends with all of my friends in Waterloo because it's that same mentality.
Dude, yeah.
For some reason, we all just gel.
Yeah.
And so this moment in time is so emotional because like everyone I love, I'm kind of splitting ways with him a little bit, right? So like he's headed out. This is the last time I was gonna hang out with, like this is the last time for the foreseeable future I'm living with my boys in Waterloo. Like me and Zulfgar headed out for the next year, You know, Davik, Sarthik, and Viome, we don't know. I don't know when the next time I'll see them is. Not that I don't know the next time I'll ever see them.
Right.
I'm not concerned that the friendship will fall apart.
Of course not.
But it's like...
It's just changed.
It's different because I won't live with them. Every morning I woke up for the past 3 years, I saw these boys' face first thing. And, you know, at night I'd come home after studying and we just mess around. You know, if you ever watch my Snapchat stories, like, during exam season, like, we were watching movies together and stuff, right? It's like... Or, like, I won't be able to just be like, yo, Eddie, come on over.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like...
It's different.
It's a change in pace, man. It's a change in pace.
But I think it all comes back to, you know, and you were talking, I don't know if you said on the podcast, but it's like the thing about like moving the needle forward, you know, for the entire tribe, right?
Yeah.
And that's like, you can think about it like a sacrifice, but you don't even have to think about it like a sacrifice.
No,
you know?
yeah. It's like, to our parents had to take some massive risks to get where they got us.
Right.
And now, when it's our turn to take that risk, it's kind of like, it'd be selfish to be like, oh, we have this great thing. No. Like, if you have faith that the love is true, that the love is deep, then take that risk, because you know it'll work. Like, you know that part of your life is stable. And I think that's what's so interesting, dude. Like, having that emotional stability, having that rock that I know no matter what happens, like, I always got you guys. Like, always.
Dude, I think about that a lot too.